Three types of woman a wise man over 60 should avoid at all costs. What if the difference between a fulfilling relationship and years of misery comes down to recognizing three warning signs that most men ignore until it's too late? At 60 plus, you don't have time to waste on relationships that drain your energy, diminish your peace, or make you question your own worth. Yet every day, good men enter partnerships with women who, despite appearing charming or attractive initially, carry patterns of behavior that will slowly erode their happiness and self-respect. This isn't about judging women or claiming that certain types are inherently bad people. It's about recognizing incompatibilities that become particularly toxic when you're at a stage of life where emotional peace, mutual respect, and genuine partnership should be non-negotiable. The philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer wrote, "A man can be himself only so long as he is alone, and if he does not love solitude, he will not love freedom. For it is only when he is alone that he is really free." At your age, you've earned the right to be selective about who gets access to the freedom and peace you've worked decades to achieve. Today, we're exploring three types of women that wise men over 60 should recognize and avoid, not from cynicism or fear, but from hard-earned wisdom about what makes relationships thrive or survive. These patterns become particularly dangerous at this stage of life because you may have resources, emotional stability, and generous hearts that certain types of women will exploit, consciously or unconsciously. If you're dating after 60, recently widowed or divorced, and wondering how to protect yourself while remaining open to love, hit that subscribe button, because understanding these patterns could save you from years of heartache and help you recognize the relationships actually worth pursuing.
Type number 1, the emotional vampire. The first type of woman every wise man over 60 should avoid is the one who feeds off your emotional energy while offering nothing nourishing in return. This isn't about women who are going through temporary difficult periods or dealing with legitimate life challenges. Everyone faces storms, and a good partnership involves supporting each other through tough times. The emotional vampire is different. She creates drama, sustains crisis, and seems energized by chaos while leaving you feeling drained and depleted. You'll recognize her by how you feel after spending time together. Instead of feeling uplifted, energized, or content, you feel exhausted, anxious, or emotionally wrung out. She doesn't just share her problems, she drowns you in them, expecting you to absorb her emotions without offering the same support in return. Dr. Judith Orloff, who studies emotional energy in relationships, identifies emotional vampires as people who drain your energy with their constant complaining, attacking, or other toxic behaviors. At 60 plus, when your energy is precious and your time is limited, allowing someone to consistently drain your emotional resources without reciprocation is not just unwise, it's self-destructive. This type often presents herself as needy or vulnerable, which can trigger your protective instincts and desire to help. But there's a crucial difference between someone who needs support and someone who needs to be the center of attention through crisis. The emotional vampire doesn't want solutions. She wants an audience for her suffering. She'll dominate conversations with her problems, rarely asking about your day, your concerns, or your feelings. When you do share something difficult, she'll either minimize it, "Well, at least you don't have my problems," or redirect the conversation back to herself. That reminds me of when the relationship becomes a one-way street, where your role is to provide emotional labor, listening, sympathizing, reassuring, problem-solving, while her role is to consume that labor without reciprocation. Over time, this dynamic doesn't just drain your energy, it erodes your sense of self-worth and your capacity for joy. Warning signs include constant crises that somehow always require your immediate attention, inability to celebrate your successes without making them about her struggles, creating conflict when life is peaceful, and seeming to thrive on drama while claiming to hate it. At your age, you've earned the right to relationships that energize you rather than deplete you. Have you ever felt consistently drained by someone who claimed to care about you? Sometimes recognizing these patterns helps us understand why certain relationships felt so exhausting. Share your insights in the comments.
Type 2. The gold digger in disguise. The second type every wise man should avoid is the woman who's primarily interested in your financial resources, lifestyle, or material security, but sophisticated enough to disguise her motivations behind affection and companionship. This isn't the obvious gold digger who openly pursues wealthy men. This is the woman who presents herself as independent and self-sufficient while systematically maneuvering to access your resources, reduce her own expenses, or secure her financial future through your generosity. By 60, many men have accumulated assets, retirement savings, property, investments, insurance policies. You may also have established spending habits, comfortable lifestyles, and the ability to be generous with dinners, trips, or gifts. The gold digger in disguise recognizes these resources and positions herself to benefit from them, while making it seem like the relationship is about genuine connection. She's often skilled at this because she may have practiced it on previous partners. She knows how to express appreciation without seeming mercenary, how to suggest rather than demand, how to make you feel good about providing for her while gradually increasing her expectations and your financial obligations. You'll recognize her through patterns rather than obvious requests. She's always available when you're paying for dinner, but often busy when it's Dutch treat. She has frequent financial emergencies that she shares with you just to vent, but accepts your help with grateful surprise. She admires your lifestyle, your home, your ability to be generous, but rarely reciprocates with comparable gestures. Dr. Robert Sternberg's research on love identifies 3 components: intimacy, passion, and commitment. The gold digger in disguise offers what appears to be intimacy, sharing personal information, seeming vulnerable, and commitment, talking about the future, wanting to spend time together, but her underlying motivation is transactional rather than emotional. She may gradually become more comfortable in your home than her own, start leaving possessions there, or begin making suggestions about improvements or changes. She might express concerns about her own living situation, job security, or retirement planning in ways that invite your involvement in solving these problems. The insidious aspect of this type is that she may genuinely enjoy your company and care about you to some degree, but not enough to be with you if you couldn't provide the lifestyle, security, or material benefits she's seeking. Warning signs include consistently expensive tastes that she can't afford, but expects you to fund. Frequent financial problems that she shares with you just to vent, but accepts your help with grateful surprise. She admires your lifestyle, your home, your ability to be generous, but rarely reciprocates with comparable gestures. Dr. Robert Sternberg's research on love identifies 3 components: intimacy, passion, and commitment. The gold digger in disguise offers what appears to be intimacy, sharing personal information, seeming vulnerable, and commitment, talking about the future, wanting to spend time together, but her underlying motivation is transactional rather than emotional. She may gradually become more comfortable in your home than her own, start leaving possessions there, or begin making suggestions about improvements or changes. She might express concerns about her own living situation, job security, or retirement planning in ways that invite your involvement in solving these problems. Warning signs include consistently expensive tastes that she can't afford, but expects you to fund. Frequent financial problems that she shares with you, reluctance to pay her fair share of shared expenses, excessive interest in your financial situation or estate planning, and dropping hints about future security while the relationship is still new. A wise man recognizes that genuine love doesn't come with a price tag. The right woman will contribute to the relationship in ways that aren't financial but are equally valuable. Emotional support, companionship, shared interests, mutual care. She won't see you as a solution to her financial concerns, but as a partner worth being with, regardless of your resources.
Type number 3. The controller who disguises dominance as care. The last type that wise men should avoid is perhaps the most dangerous, because she appears to be exactly what many men think they want. Someone who takes charge, manages details, and seems to make life easier. But there's a crucial difference between a partner who's helpful and organized versus one who needs to control your environment, decisions, and relationships. The controller disguises her need for dominance as care, making it seem like she's improving your life while systematically isolating you from your independence, friendships, and autonomy. This type is particularly appealing to men who may be tired of making all the decisions, managing household details, or dealing with the complexities of daily life. She presents herself as competent, organized, and eager to help. And initially, her help does make certain aspects of life easier. But gradually, her help becomes control. She starts making decisions about your home, your schedule, your social life, your relationships with family and friends. She has strong opinions about everything from how you dress to whom you spend time with, and she presents these opinions as being in your best interest. Dr. Patricia Evans, who studies controlling relationships, explains that controllers often use what appears to be care as a way to gain power over others. They position themselves as knowing what's best for you better than you know yourself, and they gradually erode your confidence in your own judgment. You'll recognize her through the gradual loss of your own agency in your life. Decisions that used to be yours alone now require her input or approval. Friends start feeling unwelcome in your home or uncomfortable around her. Family members mention that you seem different or that she speaks for you in situations where you used to speak for yourself. She may criticize your previous choices, relationships, or lifestyle in ways that make you doubt your judgment. She presents herself as the solution to problems you didn't know you had, then gradually becomes indispensable to managing the life she's reorganized around her preferences. The controller often targets men who are recently widowed, divorced, or otherwise vulnerable to someone who seems capable of bringing order to their lives. She may genuinely believe she's helping, but her need to control stems from her own insecurities and need for power, rather than genuine care for your well-being. Warning signs include needing to have input on all your decisions, criticizing your existing relationships and friendships, rearranging your living space without asking, making social plans for you without consultation, speaking for you in social situations, and becoming upset when you make independent choices. A wise man recognizes that genuine care respects autonomy. The right woman will offer support and input when asked, but she won't need to manage or control your life to feel secure in the relationship. She'll enhance your independence rather than erode it. Have you ever experienced someone who seemed helpful but gradually took over aspects of your life? Sometimes the most controlling people disguise their behavior as care. Share your thoughts about recognizing the difference.
Understanding these three types,
The emotional vampire, the gold digger in disguise, and the controller who masks dominance as care isn't about becoming cynical or closed off to love. It's about developing what I call protective discernment, the ability to recognize patterns that will ultimately harm your well-being while remaining open to genuine connection. At 60 plus, you've earned the right to be selective. You've worked hard to build financial security, emotional stability, and personal peace. You deserve relationships that enhance these achievements rather than exploit or erode them. The right woman for you at this stage of life will appreciate your resources without coveting them, support you emotionally while maintaining her own emotional health, and respect your autonomy while offering genuine partnership. She'll add value to your life rather than extracting it. This discernment isn't about perfection. Everyone has flaws, challenges, and difficult periods. It's about recognizing the difference between someone who's temporarily struggling versus someone whose fundamental approach to relationships is extractive, manipulative, or controlling. Viktor Frankl wrote, "Everything can be taken from a man, but one thing, the last of human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances." At your age, choosing your attitude includes choosing whom you allow into your life and heart. If this message helped you recognize patterns you've experienced or want to avoid, make sure you're subscribed for more wisdom about navigating relationships with discernment and self-respect. Share this with any man who might benefit from understanding these warning signs. And remember, being selective isn't being difficult, it's being wise enough to know what you deserve.